You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast, the podcast that has two bros yapping, thinking they know what they're talking about and being wise to anyone around their age, because why would anyone else listen to them?
Bro was
And
yapping.
today-
That was yapping at its finest. Bro went, I'm not going to do a run-on sentence. Instead, I'm going to do a goddamn hike and then a marathon and then swimming sentence. That's what that was. That was like
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man. Thank you. That was an Iron Man sentence.
That just was an Iron Man sentence. Is crazy.
That was not a run-on, bro. You ran off. Dude, man. Sorry, please go again. He said, two boys yapping about yapping. Yapping.
No. And today we're talking about finding your passion and what you want out of life, or how to figure out what is meant for you out of life.
Will loves
We get
yapping.
so philosophical and yap like that, but like actually like finding your passion. And just like every episode every week, this week something that I am proud of, which is crazy because I literally said this I don't know how many episodes ago, but something I'm proud of is ya boy I just hit over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is fucking insane. I posted I think it happened like 2 days ago. I posted a video about like redesigning the World Cup 2026 logo, which took fucking forever. So I'm glad it's being enjoyed by people, potentially any viewers listening right now. But yeah, that's just a celebratory analytical number, because yeah, we're at 434 videos I think I've posted. So a bit more than I would say than the average YouTuber before they crack 3K subs. But it doesn't matter how you get where you want to go, as long as you get there, because that's where you want to go.
Yeah, and everybody has their own path. I mean, low-key. Yeah. I mean, you have been making videos now for how many years? 10? 12?
See, I actually looked at the math the other
Good
day.
videos.
Oh, yeah, good video. 6 months. Good videos. No, I started videos.
5 weeks.
I've actually posted videos. I looked at my channel and I found out that I recorded videos in May of 2012 that I didn't post on my personal channel until 2013. Okay. Which means in 2012 of May, I was 11 and I had just turned 11. So I was almost 10. So technically, I've been making videos, if we're going to round to make it sound more impressive, I've been making videos since I was 10. And so that was 2010.
So
and
18 years. Damn.
So yeah, that's some
18 years
there, but yeah. 18 years, yeah, that's.
Dude, yeah. Happy 28th, by the way.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
What would you do if you were 21? Like, what if you just blinked and you were 28? What would you do? Would that be like good or bad?
Well,
like,
did anything like happen around me?
No.
Oh,
you just lost 5 years of your life. All right, I'm yapping. Speaking of yapping, I want to plug Will. I do, because go check him out on Instagram, dude. I mean, at Will Shrigley, right? That's all it is.
What's the catch?
No, that's literally it. I actually...
Yeah, my numbers are not pulling in enough on the podcast when we post our stories, so make sure to even out those numbers, because Ryan has more followers than me, so I need to catch up on the race, so I have enough pull.
No.
So...
I literally, just you saying, like, you hit a huge milestone, like, why not plug it in our own podcast? People probably don't know your YouTube, so why not check it out?
But yeah, it's the same name. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's the proud moment I have for this week.
Awesome.
That's
also, I'm gonna plug our own I'm gonna plug our podcast. I think that we should have making, or sorry, what the hell? I just had like an aneurysm. Sorry. Before I get into my first point, I just want to make sure you guys leave a rating or review for this podcast, because it means a lot to us. So that's my shameless plug. But finding your passion. Will said it. That's the episode topic today. I'm going to start off with exploring different interests. We talked about this last week, but even I need to get better with this. But you need to try new hobbies, take random classes, do some experience that you thought you would never do. Do goat yoga for who gives a shit? Why not?
What about steam yoga?
Sure,
you know
do steam goat yoga. Why not, dude? Explore different interests.
I don't think.
You never know, bro. It might mean something different if it's like a steamy goat, but you might be into that. Um, but nah, literally in my 20s, from what I've like really like every single thing that I've realized at this point is nobody gives a shit other than
Yeah.
yourself. So why not just do something that makes you happy or do something that gets you off your ass? So, um, actually, what I'm going to do when I move to North Carolina, this is a little thing that I made for myself, but every single week in Colorado, so like right now, I've been making a list of things that I want to do when I move to North Carolina. What I do is I write them all on a piece of paper. And then at the end of like my time in Colorado, so right before I moved to North Carolina, I'll be cutting up this paper and putting it into a hat and basically drawing from the hat once a week to do a new thing. Yeah. And I think that is so necessary being in a new place and not knowing anyone. So not exactly like not just finding your passion, but just in general, like getting out there. You could literally have something that you don't even know exists, and it might be your calling. It might be what you want to do for the rest of your life. So
That's a crazy point, actually, because literally right now, if you not even trying anything, you could be the best at something right now that hasn't been invented yet. That's a crazy thing to think about. Like, for example, in 2000, I picked that bias because that's when I was born. The Xbox had not come out yet. Not even the first original, like, Xbox generation. But, like, there are obviously insane, like, esports players that grew up either playing Xbox or console games. Like, you could be the GOAT at a console, for example, and the console's not made yet. So, like, if you don't try new things, you wouldn't know that. So if you try new things, something could lead down a road that is either not available to you yet, there's not an opportunity aligned, the thing hasn't been invented. Like, I thought about that the other day. The job that I got after graduating college, I was a video editor for, I don't think I've ever said this. I was a video editor for basically, not even going to beat around the bush. I was a video editor for Rap TV. They're a media outlet, news source on Instagram. I worked there for a bit, just freelancing video work because I needed a job. And I was like, damn, the job I'm doing right now did not exist even 5 years ago. I was a short form video content editor. That didn't exist up until 2018. And even the first like 2 years of like TikTok blowing up, it didn't, like, no one edited their video. Like, there was Vine and people edited their Vines, but they were only 7 seconds. So they didn't have like, either way, trying new things is super important. Something I actually wanted to do is a little bit of a test, because this actually is kind of, I feel like everyone gets asked this, so everyone can relate to this. Ryan, I'm gonna ask you this. When you were in elementary school and everyone got this piece of paper, or it was a hypothetical question asked by your teacher, or however it was presented to you, but you got the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? How did you answer it, or how would you answer it as of right now?
And this is an elementary school. So what age are we talking?
Well, I got asked this question in 4th grade. So that would have been like 9. I would have been 8 or 9.
Okay.
So if you got that question, what would you have answered in elementary school?
So personally, I'm going to answer this kind of 2 ways, because I think before like 3rd grade, my creative juices were just a lot more prevalent. I mean, as a little kid, you just want to be more things, right?
Yeah.
So crazy enough, I always played with like figurines, like little army figurines, and I played with Legos and stuff.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I mean, I didn't know the extent of war at the time, but I was like, oh my gosh, army men. I want to do something with the army. I'm not even kidding.
Huh.
So back when I was like a little kid, probably before the age of 8 even, like I just wanted to do something like be a fighter plate, or like a jet pilot or whatever, or yeah, be in the army or whatever. But as time went on, if like you asked me in like 4th or 5th grade, I think I would have to say something with sports, not necessarily being an athlete, but something that was outdoor. I wouldn't like label a job necessarily, because I really didn't know, but doing something in like the sports industry. And if you ask me today, I'm in supply chain management and marketing, which I still haven't had a job for because obviously I'm still serving and I'll be going to Europe. But even if you
Yeah.
ask me right now today, I don't know.
That's what I was, which is fair. That makes sense. But the point I was getting at, which is just, I think is really interesting, is like that's a super intense question that
It
like
is.
the goal is not to have an answer. The whole point is like if you kind of put the either not fear on someone, but you just like keep reminding them of that like being a thing. It's at least something that they will think about, and that's kind of the whole thing you want. Because if you just give absolutely no direction onto a kid or something, they may not ever think about it, and then they end up doing nothing. But like when I was a kid, I just was like, oh well, I'm probably gonna do my hobbies, and what do I like? Legos and soccer. So I wrote down like Lego designer or soccer player, which is funny because Lego designer isn't what I want to do, but it is still design related, which is kind of crazy that that's somewhat close. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
and honestly, even for me, like looking back at like the army, there's like a lot of organization involved, and I think like the
oh true.
fact that like there was so much teamwork, like that could relate straight to supply chain. Like there's if you're working in a warehouse, you're working as a team, you're working around people. Also, like in soccer, like you work as a team. So it could be just like the friendship aspect and like the coworkers being close, and so
That's true.
you aren't off with that. And I think it's super important to think about what you love doing as a child or even what you're doing now, that make you lose track of time. So
That I was just about to say, try like focus on what you lose track of time doing. Again, I think I said that in the second episode. My mom would always notice being like, "Hey, Will like doesn't know time's passing when he's playing with Legos or playing soccer. Like, keep note of that. Either you do it, your parents do it." I definitely said this before, but that's important because that's how you know like what you are like. You are fully locked in on those hobbies, so like you don't mind doing them for extended periods of time, which is something that could lead you into a direction of a job or a
Yep.
career.
Yep. And we had a whole episode devoted to this, but overcoming the fear of failure too. So as a kid, you are not necessarily like dumb, but you also don't think about the consequences when like choosing a path, which is honestly a good thing sometimes because what you love doing as a child, right? Like for example, we'll take your example of Legos and how it kind of translated to being creative and going to YouTube and to other things. It is so important to embrace that failure, like not even necessarily failure, but being like, hey, I like this, so why not like continue like being okay with that, even if it's not like a perfect path, you know?
Yeah, because it's changing. It's not like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one thing.
Well, yeah, and I think another thing is just taking like the risks to get out there, and this goes hand in hand with exploring different interests, but not letting like the fear of failure hold you back from discovering what you love. And my advice is just to send it and don't look back.
Man's just hit him with the college.
It's true,
Send
dude.
it, bro.
It's true, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at frat dudes, or I don't even know, like, okay, if you look at I'm trying to compare. I'm trying to compare.
Trying to compare a frat dude to a career.
But
It's
low
kinda
key
hard.
though, frat dudes are usually happy, and that's crazy to say. But even though they're dumb, most of them are dumb. Just sending it could translate to happiness because sometimes they don't overthink things that some other people do. Tell me I'm wrong.
Ignorance is bliss.
Hey,
Patrick doesn't know
they-
he's dumb. He's just happy.
Exactly. No, like literally. I don't know. So
Oh no, that's. I mean that's facts. That is funny. That is literally.
I'm not
So
saying
if you
want
want to know about
dumb.
this point, listen. Yeah, be dumb.
Yeah. Be
So
dumb.
if you're more dumb, you will literally just not overthink your career, so you'll succeed.
because you can't think, and then you won't have a career.
Yeah, so if you want to go into biology, don't even take a single biology class. Just show up at the doors of the hospital. Not even asking for a job, because who fucking asks anymore? Just be like, I applied yesterday, and I got a call. Say, like, just lie. Combine last episode, where you just fucking lie to yourself and the people. You'll just get it for sure.
Instead of getting an interview, ask them the questions. Go in at like you own the place. Walk in, burst through the doors, and say, "Why are you here?"
Just so what was your favorite method of contacting me to walk in for this interview? Where did
I
you
ask
go?
the questions now.
Where did you go to get to this position to ask me these
Hey,
interview questions?
confidence is different in many forms, so that's one way.
I think a thing people don't also think about is like, oh, when you're growing up, you have to like find things and gravitate towards things you like, which like, yeah, but also that's like, I feel like that puts a lot of stress on like trying to find an answer to like things you like and things you do and things like, oh, this can pay well and this is sustainable. But like finding things that you don't like is also just as beneficial, which I think is something to keep in mind because it makes it, again, not as stressful and is more calming. Like my mom was super big when I was a kid on like always trying everything. Like she would always say like, not even always say, she would literally put me in shit. So like my brother did gymnastics, so then I did gymnastics, and then my brother did dance, so then I did dance, and then at the same time my dad liked soccer, so I did soccer, and then at the same time my mom was like, oh, well, he should be musical, so we should like have him start taking piano lessons. So then like, okay, financials aside, because I guess this does sound like, oh well, like just pay to win, but like that's not that's not what I'm trying to say. Like I was in certain activities and then I did them for a little bit and I stopped. So like I did gymnastics for 5 years and like it was cool, but then I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. That in itself blocks off like the whole gymnastics lane for like a career I want to do, which is still really useful because it shows that's not what I want to do. So I'm not going to spend any more time, or I guess waste any more time in that field because I already know I'm not going to do it anymore
I
as a
mean,
professional, I guess. Because you can do anything you want at a rec level, but then also soccer, stopping that once it came to high school, I was like, yeah, I'm done from a competitive standpoint because
this goes straight in, like, hand in hand with like my college experience, because my whole freshman year was devoted to classes that I wanted to figure out if I liked or not. And
yeah,
most of those classes, actually, probably 12 out of the 15. So, or yeah, because like, no, more like 8 out of the 10, because I did like a whole year of just like these AUCC classes, which are basically just electives. 80% of them I didn't enjoy at all. And that is so much more valuable than not trying at all. Because
yeah.
now I have a 20%, like I have those two classes that I kind of enjoyed, and it can actually give me a path. And hey, maybe I take this class, maybe I take this one. And by the time I was in sophomore year, I had a major declared. And then from there, I was like, I don't like accounting, I don't like finance. I knew that, so it showed me a direction, which was very beneficial.
And then also you can like network and meet people. Like say you don't like 8 of your class, if you like 2, you're going to be naturally more engaged. So you're going to like, then if you meet someone in those classes because you're more engaged and you actually like care about what you're doing, then that leads to more opportunities of like, maybe you also meet someone that is in the same boat where they're really into that. And then you now make a friend, combining last episode, just like that's a win-win. That is like a huge win.
It's true. Well,
Um,
also, if you're like in a class or in a job that you like despise, I like, okay, don't get me wrong. If you need it for rent and it's like one of those jobs, whatever, and it's like a short-term thing, sure. But if you're gonna like slave away for 60 years in a job that you don't enjoy, and you are with people that you have no interest with, then what is the point? Like, and that's kind of a crazy question to ask, but it's true. Like, a lot of people get stuck in this way of life, thinking that, okay, I don't amount to anything better. Or I don't have any passions. That's not true. Everyone likes
yeah.
something.
Bro, you just teed me up so hard. You said, what do you like doing? What is the first thing you get excited about when you have free time? The second you
Damn.
come home and you like you're done with work, you're done with school, what is the thing you look forward to most? Is it like just coming home and like de-stressing with like a TV show or something? Is it, I don't know, taking a shower? Is it playing video games? Is it going to hang out with friends? Because each set of answers reflects a different interest. If your main thing is like, oh, the second I get off of mandatory life, whether that's work or school, and you want to hang out with friends, then that's showing you like subconsciously like you want to be around people you enjoy right after you have to do a bunch of bullshit. So maybe probably in the future, jobs that, like you said, the whole like social aspect is going to be more integrated or involved. Say you want to come home and just de-stress and watch TV. What TV are you watching? What shows are you watching? Are they like more artsy fartsy type stuff, or is it more like what's the like Hollywood kind of like blockbuster type of action stuff? Or like how do you watch it? Do you watch it on your phone while you're doing something else? Do you watch it on your iPad?
Do I have to
Do you
answer
watch
all
it-
these questions?
Oh no, I have a couple more. So
No,
you
no, no.
then also like
I know, but like no, yes, no, yes, yes, no.
But, like,
Outside. Yep. Mm-hmm.
those are outside. But like those questions are really like important because I mean, in
Should I
my
answer
opinion,
it?
it's kind of no, it's good. I was just gonna say like,
Well, I
if you-
can.
man-
I can. I'm pretty. I was gonna say I have a pretty good answer.
oh well, I was man's gonna hit me with like a blanket one word.
No, no, no. I
Answer,
actually want to
answer.
explain like that. The question that you asked, I want to like give you the answer because I think it is important, and we can even dive into like my psychology a little bit. Sure.
Okay, well I feel like I feel like I know the answer, but like when you want to
Okay, go. I actually
go-
want you to guess. I want you to guess.
if Ryan like goes to work or whatever, this man will come home, probably take a shower or eat something quick. Maybe he'll take a nap every once in
Actually-
a while, not every time, and then he'll want to. Ryan has a good balance of like.
Let me
wanting to hang
stop
out
you
with
right
friends.
there. No, what about the free time before work? Like, because I know I work later, so instead
Oh,
of like
like when
saying
you get
get off
to-
work, like what would I do on a day off? Ask me like that. What's your guess on that?
What you do on a day off? See, I enjoy my sleep, so I sleep in. This fool will wake up at like 9 in the morning and go to the gym because Ryan feels way better going to the gym than I do. I feel fucking. I've never had a runner's high ever. I don't understand that.
No,
shit.
I
never,
don't. But when I get that pump, bro, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, no, haven't got that.
I'm like,
But Ryan will go to
the
the gym,
swole.
which like again, it's really once you like analyze what you want, then it's easier to go in the direction of like, okay, I gotta like because like you said, if someone gets stuck like 60 years in a 9 to 5, it's hard to be like, well, this is a huge risk I'm gonna take because I need rent money, I need grocery money, I need gas money. But if you like analyze this problem by like seeing what you're excited about when you have free time, then you can kind of pivot and be like, oh, I like this is what I want to do, so I'm gonna have to like not spend money on this and then save up for this, so then maybe I leave this job and do something on the side.
Also,
Or eats.
the viewers, right, or like whoever's listening kind of right now, on average is going to be more of a young adult. So that usually means there's less stress on like kids and having things that tie you down. So hopefully,
That's true.
I'm not saying like necessarily like you're in a perfect boat, but this is the time to experiment with things before you do have a family and have things that stress you out a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, even for you, like the only thing really tying you down is rent and a girlfriend. But even a girlfriend doesn't even tie you down because like she,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like that's really it. Whereas like I get it if you're like in your 60s, 70s trying to pay for rent and you have 3 kids and you have your and you have to like figure out all this shit. Sure, that would be stressful. But what I'm trying to get at is hopefully you find a little bit of time to like get out there and do something. And I also want to answer your question because I know you guessed.
Yeah.
But you asked, what are you excited to do when you have free time? So if I have a day off, you were
It's
spot
outside.
on. You were spot
It's
on.
minimum outside.
No. It's kind of dorky, but I enjoy maximizing the time, whether it's at the gym or cleaning my room or taking a nap. But I know that's weird to say maximizing taking a nap. What does that mean? Because at least I'm resting my body and I feel like good, like going into work the next day or like whatever it is. I enjoy that. So I also love the outdoors, whether that's hiking, biking, even going outside like you did, just tanning. I think that's super like healthy
Important.
for yourself. Yeah. And then I also love to plan like my next adventure traveling wise, whether that's with friends or by myself or whatever it is. I just like am so into that travel aspect. And right now, since I am living by myself, well, not by myself, but with my parents, and just not really with as many friends that are close to me around, right? I usually just go to my house after work and I enjoy my workspace, like my computer and my video games and whatever sometimes. And I need to be alone because we haven't talked about this, but I am definitely an extroverted introvert, which every single person says that's an introvert. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's an
Like,
introvert.
do you know what I'm saying? Where like I
Yeah.
have to be alone to recharge, but I have gotten so much better with people. And a lot of other people are busy that I like work with or like that I'm around, so I usually just enjoy my free time. So
Yeah. No,
you're pretty spot on though. You said
that's pretty
outdoors.
close.
You said
Yeah.
gym or whatever. So good stuff. What about you? What would you do on your free time?
I mean, mine's just I just am in the YouTube work grind phase right now. Like the second I come home from work, or even before, I'm always either I'm like YouTube video or podcast because I have so much fun doing both.
That's awesome.
That's like the main thing that I just think of pretty much 24/7.
Hey, that's okay. The grind is real. So, all
Yeah.
right. Well, that's going to be all for today. Make sure to tune into the Care What People Think podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all other platforms. And please, please, please leave a review or a rating to help us out. It would mean the world. And we love the support that we're getting. So thank you so much. And if you are going to listen to one thing throughout this episode, it is truly reflecting on what makes you happy in life and finding these patterns to get you started. So as we talked about, reflecting on what you liked as a child, what you liked yesterday, get out there. Screw it. Send it as if you if you will. Send it. Do the frat thing and send it. Nah, but also it is so important to be aware in what you're doing, and it will help you in the future. Another thing is try not to compare yourself and have the fear of failure, because that won't do any good for your own mental health. Keep your head up, kings and queens out there, and remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3